Hey, it's me, Johnaroth, and today I want to share a secret with you. There's a commander on Arena that is very undervalued right now, very powerful, and I don't see a lot of people play it as much as the Ragavan decks, the Kinnan decks, all the top tier decks. I would put this card in a very high A tier type bucket. And that card is Glarb, Calamity's Augur. It's a 3 mana, 2/4 Death Touch, which right there means he's gonna survive through a lot of spells, Lightning Bolt, things like that. He can kill anything he blocks. That for 3 mana, you can look at the top of your library anytime you want. So you always see the top card. You can surveil for 2, which means you can put cards into the graveyard anytime you want. And you can play lands off the top of your library and cast any 4 mana or better spell off the top of your library. This is huge value. This is a lot of value in one card. I'm actually surprised I don't see more people playing this, because you're essentially giving yourself an additional resource to use every single turn. And if you don't need the resources off the top of your deck, you can surveil them, you can shift them into the graveyard to dig through your deck faster to get to the cards you want. There's a lot of great graveyard synergy cards in this deck. Everything from Deathrite Shaman to Uro to Treasure Cruise. There's a lot of really great cards that are going to give you value in this deck. There's also a ton of 4 mana value or plus cards in here that are going to help you, that can just literally be cast off the top of your deck. It's almost like getting free cards that you use every single turn. For the build that I've focused on, we've got a lot of the typical blue counter spells, the washaways, the mana drain, which is one of the most broken cards in Arena, the counter spells, all those types of cards. But then we also have some really good removal like Bitter Triumph, Shieldred's Edict, Toxic Deluge, all of those types of cards. We have some very heavy hitting type cards in here on the top end of the deck. The Tatiovas, the Scarab Gods, get cards out of your graveyard. Vorinclex, some really heavy hitters, as well as some additional Time Warp type effects like Temporal Manipulation, Time Warp, and Alron's Epiphany. So this deck really has a good mixture of value in the front end, removal, counter spells, and then finishing really, really strong. I've also put several board wipes in here to kind of clear the board out to get you ready for your final moves. We have Deadly Cover Up. We have all those types of removal spells in there as well. So this is a very, very powerful deck, and I'll be honest with you, I play this deck almost every single day, and I win a lot with this. So let's take Glarb into the queue, and let me show you what type of value you can get from playing a commander like this. Let's go. Okay, we're going to be fighting Koth, Fire Resistance. Super strong commander, can get out lands for red. Going to be a lot of fire spells. This hand has no counter spells in it whatsoever, which is a problem. So we are going to mulligan, see if we can find something better. This is not great, but it does have turn 1 Birds of Paradise, turn 2 Glarb, so we're going for it. Let's do this. Birds of Paradise, still one of my favorite mana dorks. Get you any color, flying 0/1. And here we have turn 2 Glarb. Lots of burn from the red deck, killing our birds of paradise. Mending Hex, an enchantment that deals damage with every spell we cast. I'm going to go with no. And now we're going to use Glarb's ability to sift through to try to find some more lands. Treasure Cruise is a great card. Since we're going to be sending a lot of cards to the graveyard, we're going to hang on to that, because that's going to be some serious card draw. We're going to keep looking for lands, though. Let's draw some cards. Blood Moon. Look at that. A crippling card that can turn all your non-basic lands into mountains. However, we do have one secret weapon, and that's Tireless Provisioner. Let's see what else we can find. Nope, nope. We're going to have to figure out a way to get rid of that Blood Moon, otherwise our mana is going to be crippled. I do have basic lands in this deck, but there are a lot of special lands, and basically they're just becoming mountains unless we do something about it. Up, and he's going to kill the Tireless Provisioner. That's okay. Summon Ronus. And Jace the Mind Sculptor. We're going to take a look at the top of his deck. Let's see what he's got coming up. Another mountain. We'll let him have that. I do want to keep this Mass Manipulate, so we can steal some stuff down the road. We are short on blue mana, though. We've only got one island right now. We've got to come up with something to get rid of that Blood Moon. And he goes for Goldspan Dragon. Binding the Old Gods is perfect. That's exactly what we needed. We're going to leave it right where it is because we can cast it from the top of our deck. I do want to get out of Swamp so we can deal with the Dragon. Gives them a lot of card advantage. Let's get Jace ticking back up. I do tend to prefer his card draw ability, but when he's that weak against a red player, can be killed by almost anything, really. It's got a lot of mana. Uh-oh. We got a serious planeswalker on the battlefield. Chandra has a really powerful ability where she can cast for damage, she can copy your instant and sorcery spells. She's a very, very strong planeswalker. I think we're good on the mana department for now. Let's get rid of Chandra. Now we have back Jace. Let's let him keep the mountain. And hit him for 1.
There can be no victory. Then I will fight forever. Here comes the avalanche.
We've taken a lot of damage this game, but this is where saving the mass manipulation is really good. And we win the game. Yeah, mass manipulation is a really powerful magic card. Any of the blue cards where you can take control of their creatures or planeswalkers, they're usually pretty expensive to cast, but they can win the game outright for you, especially for a deck that has a lot of synergy with its commander like Koth. Good game. We really need some quick mana acceleration against a deck like Vadrik. Vadrik's going to be mostly counter spells, things to pump up his commander. This is a very risky hand for us to keep. I'm going to try it anyway, but we'll see how this goes. And I throw back the deadly cover-up. Fanatic of Rodas. Really great ramp creature. The ability to bring it back from the graveyard and have it as a 4/4 is amazing. Now he has open 2 mana, so more than likely he's got a counter spell. I'm going to go for Haughty Djinn instead of my commander, just to try to be safe. Vadrik is an incredibly annoying commander. Just all 98% spells, depending on their commander to get onto the battlefield and kind of carry them through the day. He gets to bring back one card to his hand. Let's see what he gets. He's going to take the Confounding Riddle again. Counter target spell. We could try to bring out our commander again. He's just going to counter it again. I really don't see any point in doing this. So we're just going to wait. Except that costs 3. Might be worth it to try. Oh, we're going to try it anyway. Let's see. Let's see if he can counter it again. No counter spell. He brings out Vadrik. 2 mana left. See what we can do. We've got 2 kill spells lined up. I do want to see if we can get a land first. We do manage to find a land, which is great. We need some more black mana for all this removal. So we're going to take the Watery Grave. The good news is he has left Vadrik open to attack now, so let's kill off Vadrik. And hit him for 1. You have to kill his commander multiple times to get anywhere with this. But if you can make his commander really expensive before getting him on the battlefield, it does really cripple his ability to do anything against us. Kidnap could be a really interesting card against Vadrik. Taking control of his commander would be fun, but I think we need lands. This is why Glarb is powerful. He can help you get those lands, though, that you need every turn. He does have enough mana for a counter spell. Let's go in for an attack first. I'm going to try to go for Primeval Titan. It resolves. We're going to go get some more mana. I'm going to pick out 2 lands. I'm going to go for the Restless Cottage, which is a creature land, and the Shifting Woodland, in case we want to copy something from the graveyard. Now, if we can survive another turn, counter Vadrik, and we win the game. Vadrik is incredibly strong commander. With his ability to make his spells cheaper the more powerful he gets, if you leave him on the battlefield, you're done. But if you can kill him a couple times or keep him from entering the battlefield, usually Vadrik decks fall apart pretty easily. Seem to be getting paired up against a lot of red and blue decks today. This video is sponsored by Bacon and Coffee. I do have something where I can get into his hand, take a look at that. Unstoppable Slasher can be a really aggressive card against him. I am really worried about the fact that we don't have a lot of early turn plays, though. That's going to be a problem against Brawl, because if he builds up his mana, he'll just counter everything we do. So I'm going to mulligan. This hand is not great, but we do have a Thoughtseize. We can play an additional land with Kellen's special ability. We do have a counter spell, so I am going to keep it, and we're going to try this. We're going to use our Misty Rainforest and go for using our Thoughtseize first thing. So we're going to pick Watery Grave. And let's see what he has. Okay, he has Discover the Formula, Into the Roll, which can bounce things, Cold Steel Heart, and Negate. So he's got one counter spell. I am going to go to try to take his ramp to slow him down. That's really probably the best thing I can do against a commander like this. Keep him from getting his commander out into the battlefield. We're going to use Kellen's special ability to play another land. And we're going to scry. I see another land. I think we're good on lands for now, so we're just going to shuffle that away, or move it into the graveyard. Let's play the Delighted Halfling and Glarb. He'll probably send one of these two back to our hand, more than likely. No, he does nothing. Kills our commander. Sometimes you have to be careful to click the Delighted Halfling itself in order to get the ability where your spells can't be countered. You gotta be really careful how you tap. I'm betting he tries to cast his commander, but let's see. He does have the mana for it. We're going to counter his commander. I am going to go for Glarb because of the value. We're going to use Kellen's ability to destroy artifacts, and if you destroy your own artifacts, you get to draw a card. Well, use Glarb's ability, see if we can find some lands. He's going to put our commander back in our hand. That's perfectly fine. We do still get to surveil. Now we're going to recast Glarb. Make sure we get those lands into play. And I'm keeping up a counter spell. I'm hoping he tries to go for his commander again. Okay, Snapcaster Mage, what does he have in the graveyard? He could potentially use that to kill our commander with the lava coil. I'm going to try to counter this spell. He may use a negate to stop it. We'll see. At least that will get it out of his hand. Yep. He's probably going to kill Glarb again, I'm assuming. Yep. That's okay. We're still putting pressure on him. We could bring out Glarb again. However, Scarab God is also a really good card we could use. I still love the value of Glarb, though, so I'm going to summon Glarb again. Every turn, hit him for 3, over and over and over again. Okay. Use the Alchemy card, Discover the Formula, to draw 3, to seek 3 non-land cards. Let's get out Tatiova. Debating what to do here. I'm just going to be really aggressive, keep hitting him. This time I am going to attack with Glarb. No, I'm not going to attack with Glarb. I'm going to summon the Unstoppable Slasher. Now, he does have a lot of mana here. He could have a River's Rebuke, which would bounce everything back to our hands. There's all kinds of things he could potentially do here. The Delighted Halfling has actually proven to be kind of the crucial card in this whole situation. He's attacking, which is not a good sign. Usually, if they're going to attack like this, it means he probably has something to bounce back everything to our hands. Or take another turn. Anger of the Gods. Okay, so he can deal 3 damage. He's going to wipe out a lot of our army. Shieldred is definitely a good card for us to have. But I'm going to put it in the graveyard anyway. Well, how much life is he at? 13? Yeah. He's probably got some sort of other spell that can do more damage. Unfortunately, our Unstoppable Slasher does not come back because Anger of the Gods exiles rather than destroys, which is unfortunate. He's still got a decent amount of mana here. He's still got 6 mana.
I know 88 ways to hone your prowess.
Okay. We do have a new offensive line here. Scarab God is an excellent card. Can come back from the dead if it dies, as long as it's not exiled. It's really hard to kill. Can make zombies from the graveyard. Very flavorful. He has a ton of mana. This is turning into quite a battle. Unfortunately... Looks like he had a good way of dealing with both of those, so... Let's... Do we have enough mana to hit him? No, we can't do both. But I am going to go for trying to kill Narset. See if we can do it.
I won't forget our time together.
He's at 12 life now. Another alchemy card. Siphoner. Siphoner. I'm not going to get that name right. This is the type of content you came for, right? To see me mispronounce names. We are in trouble in this game now at this point. Unfortunately, in a situation like this, the game has gone on too long. And usually when you are in a situation where Case of the Locked House could be really good. Do we think he has another counter spell? We have to kill Jace if we possibly can. He'll probably block, which is perfectly fine. Unfortunately, we're out of moves at this point, which is a problematic versus a red and blue deck. They're going to have a lot of card draw and additional turns that are going to hurt us. Our opponent's thinking carefully, looking at the top card of our deck. Opponent is debating whether or not to move it to the bottom. Personally, I would move that card. Case of the Locked House is Locked Hothouse is a really good Magic card. Allows you to, once you've got 7 lands, which we do have, you can play a lot of different cards from the top of your deck. And now he has his additional commander out on the battlefield again.
Like a bolt out of the blue.
We are in trouble. As we'll gain some life while we're at it. I made a crucial mistake here. I should have played my land first. Why I didn't is I was hoping if there was a land on tap, Glarb could have played it. But I am going to concede this game. There's really not a good way for us to win at this point. He has out 2 planeswalkers. Jace can bounce stuff. Brawl can make instants or sorceries. Copies. He's got at least 2 cards in his hand. He's going to be able to flip as Kanta. There's really not going to be an easy way for us to come back for this. So we're going to say good game. And congratulations, you win. Our next opponent is Bustino playing Rem. Rem Karolus, the Stalwart Slayer. You get to go first. We do not have any green mana in this hand, so that's a serious problem for us. We're going to have to mulligan on this hand. We do have all the colored mana we need. A time warp. We do have a ramp card through Uro and Primeval Titan. A lot of bigger cards. I do like Uro a lot because he also gains you life, and it's easier to get him out of the graveyard because of Glarb's ability to surveil and get cards into the graveyard. I am going to keep this hand. Wash Away is a very powerful Magic card. You really can't go wrong with a Wash Away. Put down the Polluted Delta. We'll wait till his turn to crack it. As a general habit, I don't crack the lands until my opponent's turn's pretty much done before my next turn, because if I do want to get a Surveil land where I can look at the top of my deck and move a card, if they do have some sort of effect that will shuffle your deck or move or change things around, you don't want to lose whatever you had on top. So now we're going to crack it. We're going to go for black and green. Actually, blue and green. I lied. I will go for black and blue because we do need 2 blue for the time warp. It's just the Surveil lands are so good. There's just such good cards. Okay, I'm not going to summon my commander because I do want to keep up the Wash Away, and we can also cast on their turn Planar Genesis. They're going to do 2 damage to us. Bone Crusher Giant. Okay, they're going to summon the giant. We want another land. We do find it. Bone Crusher Giant. Still a great versatile Magic card. We do have a good amount of lands here. I am going to go with Tireless Provisioner, though, to start getting some of those treasures. We can afford to take damage for a little bit. Make a treasure. We'll hold up mana for a counterspell for his commander. If Tireless Provisioner survives till our turn and we can summon a Primeval Titan, we are going to counter his commander here. No, no such luck. He's going to kill Tireless Provisioner. And he's going to hit us for 4 with his giant. And we are going to bring out the big guns. Primeval Titan. 6/6 trample, gets 2 more lands onto the battlefield when it comes out or when you attack. Just still an incredibly powerful Magic card. If he has a land, he could summon his commander again. See, this is really sus. He's attacking. If he deals 4, he probably has a spell that can deal 2 to 3 more. We're going to take it. We're not going to block that. We're not blocking. Because we can get more mana on our turn. And we have a time warp. Okay, so first we attack. Get some more lands. The thing that's great about this deck is there's so many different ways to generate mana. I mean, look how many lands we already have, mostly due to the Primeval Titan. Now we're going to cast Time Warp so we can get some more lands. We're going to kill his commander. We're going to attack again on our turn. Get more mana onto the battlefield. I'm going to pick a Castle Lochthwain. I do try to pick at least one of the basic lands too, for the fact that if they have something like a Winter Moon, oh, this is really good. Oracle. Look at how we're playing lands off the top of our deck now. And now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. What? I mean, we have like 13, 14 lands at this point versus their 5. Their commander's out of commission for at least another turn or 2. On our next turn, we're going to get more lands on the battlefield. We have a counterspell. We can Surveil to get Uro out, start gaining more life, summon a Virtue of Persistence, start summoning stuff from the graveyard. There's really nothing. Glarb has a lot of value and is probably one of the most underrated commanders I have ever seen. I get a lot of great games out of him. I consistently win. The longer the game goes, the more value you're getting out of Glarb, the more you have the potential to dominate. There's actually other ways you can build Glarb. There's certain cards that people can utilize that are very powerful. I'm not a big fan of, such as Mergent Ultimatum, Omniscience. You can lean into some of those. I focus more on utilizing the ramp strategy of green early in the game, the removal of blue and black in the middle, and then pulling out some really powerful win cons at the end of the game, which has led me to a lot of consistent wins. So I really recommend playing Glarb as an alternate commander for you, and something that you'll get a lot of value out of and enjoy playing the games. Thank you for watching my newest Brawl video. Be sure to like, subscribe, consider joining me at my Patreon. I have put the deck list below. Thank you so much and have a great day.